Hello, my dear friends. I'm Professor Kakhaber Jakeli, and I'm speaking with you from very nice city Akhaltsikhe, what is in south place of Georgia. So right now, this city is the capital of Samtskhe Javaheti region. But this city is very old and has a lot of interesting historical events. So we can say that in Bible you can find two great names. What is Meshech and Tubal? So these are names of Georgian tribes. And Meshech, they are people who lived here. This is Mesch people or Musk people or Mosoch people. So different historical sources they mention differently the Mesch tribes, and this tribe was one of the very powerful, and they invaded Assyrian Empire, and they invaded Hittites, and they invaded also big empires surrounding Anatolia region. So Mesch people, they were very huge, powerful, and these Mesch people, this is beginning of the history of human civilization, because you can find the name of Meshech or Mesch in ancient history. In Bible, you can find this name. So after some period, Mesch people, all times, living here in this place, in place of Samtskhe, Javaheti, Shavsheti, Klarjeti, so in this place, entitled as a Mescheti right now. So after some period, they were part of Georgian kingdom, and they participated in establishing the Georgia as a state. Georgia, you know that Georgian people, they name themselves Sakartvelo, and we can say that the kingdom of Georgians or Georgian kingdom, so in second period, once again was re-established by Mesch people in 888 in the place of Mescheti. So this was near Bana Church right now in the place of Turkish Republic. So and Mesch people together with the king of Georgia, Adarnerse II Bagration, they established this Georgian kingdom, and they entitled this kingdom as a Kartvelta Samepo. Mepe means king into Georgian. Kartveli, this is Georgia, Georgian person. So Kartvelta Samepo can be translated as a kingdom of Georgians. And in this period, a very powerful family, very powerful dynasty of Chorchaneli, they were together with Bagrationi family. Bagrationi kings of Georgia, they themselves, they are from Mescheti. So the Bagrationi family was established by first Bagrationis in Mescheti, in the province of Speri. Speri is right now also in Turkish Republic. So, and this is the place of Mescheti. This is the land of Meschs, Speri. So that means that Bagrationi themselves, they were Meschetian people, and one of the very powerful dynasty together with Bagrationi dynasty was established by Chorchaneli family, and the Giorgianelli family, they were princes of Meskhetiya. And the Giorgianelli family, they were powerful generals, powerful writers, powerful wise people, and they, together with Georgians, they established very big principality. What was principality of Samtskhe? And we can say that offspring of Giorgianelli, they were Jakeli family. And why we are entitled as a Jakeli family? Historians say that the last Giorgianelli, who was Georgi Giorgianelli, he was without son. He had only daughter, and this daughter's name was very famous name in Georgia, Latavra. Latavra is very famous name, and by the way, many beautiful ladies are named as a Latavra. So this Latavra Giorgianelli married young Georgian king Mirian Bahlaund. Mirian Bahlaund was also Meskhetian prince, and they had 3 sons and 1 daughter. The first son's name was Sula. I think in that period influence was Roman. East Roman Empire's influence is also seen in the name Sula. And we can say that Sula was first child, first son of this family, Sula, and they titled him as with the name of the province, what they had for this first or elder son, and they named him as a Sula Kalmacheli. Into Georgia, Li means the person who comes from this region or owns this region or owns this place. My family is also Jakeli, my family name Jakeli or Jakeli. How it sounds into Georgian means that I'm from Jaki province. So I'm from Jaki province. So they titled the first child as a Sula Kalmacheli. The second son they titled as a Beshken Jakeli, and the third son they named as a Lakalak Giorgianelli. So that means that they established 3 principalities for their sons, and all of these sons they built their fortresses. So Sula has fortress in Kalmachi, Beshken has fortress in Jaki, and this third son, Lakalak, I think he as a smallest, youngest son of Giorgianelli family, he received the ownership of Giorgiani. So we can say that Jakeli family comes from Beshken Jakeli. So the middle son of Georgi Giorgianelli's daughter Latavra, and son-in-law whose name was Mirian Bahlaund, one of the greatest hero, and he was powerful general, Mirian Bahlaund. So this happens in 8th century, and we can say that this is very old history. But all these things they are written well in Georgian historian sources, also not only Georgian but Armenian, Greek, and other historian sources. They also repeat this narrative. So the Beshken Jakeli was the first Jakeli, and right now we are speaking about Jakeli. I am so descendant of this family. So Jakeli or Jakeli, how it sounds, they are from Giorgianelli. So in 11th century, they were already princes of Samtskhe, and they established this wonderful fortress. This is the heart of Akhaltsikhe. They built this city, Akhaltsikhe, themselves in the beginning of 10th century, and they finished to build Akhaltsikhe as a place, as a capital of their principality, so in 11th century. And what happens after that? So they were very powerful princes, and they were titled as a Jakeli Jakeli. So because of foreigners, especially foreigners from European countries, they cannot say kh, they say Jakeli Jakeli. So these princes from Jakeli Jakeli family, they were fighting against all enemies of Georgian kingdom, and they were great patriots. And in this city Akhaltsikhe, they resisted a lot of biggest invaders. So first of all, we know that Jalaleddin invaded Georgia, and Jalaleddin captured the capital of Georgia, Tbilisi, and the defenders of Georgia, they were also two brothers, Botso and Memna Jakelis, who came to save the city, but they had very small forces. After Jalaleddin, Chinggis Khan and Chinggizid's Mongols, they invaded Georgia, and they occupied all Georgia, and only one prince who was not occupied by Chinggizids, who was not occupied by Mongol forces, they were princes of this place. They were Jakelis. So we know that Ivane Jakeli Jakeli was only one prince who resisted Mongols, who denied their offering to surrender, and who continued to fight against Mongols during 10 years. And this place was only one place who resisted Mongols during a lot of time. And Mongols invaded Samtskhe, and Mongols invaded this place many times. So finally, the king of Georgia, Rusudan, that period king of Georgia was Lady Rusudan from famous dynasty of Bagrationi, and finally Rusudan herself asked Jakelis to stop their fight against Mongols and so be friendly with Mongols. So finally Jakelis also, they signed the treaty about peace, about friendship with Mongols. And what Mongols did, well, they invited Jakelis to their battles, and they invited Sargis Jakeli, the son of Ivan Jakeli, who resisted and who fought against Mongols. They invited the same family's first child, eldest child or eldest son, Sargis Jakeli, who is famously entitled in the history of Georgia as a great artist of fight, great artist of military martial art, great art owner, especially in longbow fight. And they invited Mr. Sargis Jakeli to great fighting against many sultanates what Mongols wanted to take. And Sargis Jakeli even he so saved the life of Hulagu Khan. Hulagu Khan was surrounded by Mamelukes, Egyptian Mamelukes, and they wanted to kill Hulagu Khan in very big battle between Mongols and Mamelukes, and Sargis Jakeli so destroyed their plans. He saved the life of Hulagu Khan, and he was one of the great friends of Hulagu. So Mongols were so friendly with Jaqilis that they offered them autonomy from Georgian kingdom. Jaqilis in that period, they were very loyal to Georgian king Bagration, but they had one conflict with Bagration. What happened? So Hulagu Khan, or Hulagu Khan, king of Mongols, he so gifted to Jakeli family the Arzerum city. Arzerum, you know that this is one of the interesting cities. So, and the Georgian kings, they were very, very jealous about this, and someone bad tongues, they told to Georgian kings that, oh, it's very, very bad because you know that if Jakelis, they have Arzerum, so they have the kingdom. And the Georgian kings, they also told to Mongols, why you gave to Jakelis the Arzerum? If you give them Arzerum, that means that you give them the holy so property of entire country, Georgia. And the Mongols, they answered, you Georgians, you don't know how to love your loyal princes. And Mongols, they said, Jakelis, they are loyal to you. But King of Georgia, so that period, King of Georgia was David Ulu. And by the way, in his own kind of life, Jakelis, they played great role. They were kingmakers, and they made David Ulu as a king of Georgia. And the same David Ulu was so jealous that Sargis received this Karnu Kalaki. Karnu Kalaki means that Arzerum from Mongols, that he invited Mr. Sargis Jakeli to Tbilisi, and so suddenly he captured him and put him in the kazemats, put him in the jail, and he wanted to kill him next day. But Jakelis, they were very connected to Mongols. They told Mongols that something like this happened in Tbilisi, and Mongols immediately, because they were very respectful to Jakelis, they were fighting even better than any other friends of Mongols. So, and they immediately pushed Bagration dynasty to make Sargis Jakeli to be free, to free Jakeli Sargis, prince of Samtskhe. And what happened after that? Sargis Jakeli was immediately released from prison, and he returned back to Akhaltsikhe, to this city, to Akhaltsikhe. Right now we are here, and this is wonderful city, wonderful place. And Sargis Jakeli, he returned back from Tbilisi, and Mongols, they offered him, or they gifted him autonomy from the Georgian kingdom, and Jakelis received independence from Georgian kingdom. This was tragic history, but this was started by kings of Georgia, Bagration. This was not started by Jakelis at all. Jakelis, they were very loyal to Georgia. So that means that, my dear friends, in 13th century, Jakelis already are independent princes of Samtskhe Atabago, and the Sargis Jakeli is the one of the famous Atabegs. They received also title of Atabeg. Atabeg's title I will explain what does mean. After Sargis Jakeli, his eldest son Beka, first Jakeli, continued his powerful life. Beka was famous because of his very interesting activities. He made his principality to be very strong. He helped also other Georgian principalities, and he was very sad because Georgia was destroyed. And he wanted to do something to re-establish the power of Georgian kingdom. And something like happened like this, that Beka's daughter, Natela Jakeli, Princess Natela Jakeli, was married to son of David Ulu. David Ulu, we know that he was like accidentally very aggressive against Jakelis, yeah. And the son of David Ulu, king of Georgia, Demetre II Bagrationi, he married daughter of Beka Jakeli, Natela, and they had child. They had son. Son's name was Georgi, and this Georgi will be one of the best king in the history of Georgia after David Agmashenebel. He will be best king who re-established the power of Georgia, and his name will be George Brilliant. Georgian people, they titled him as a with the nickname Brilliant, Georgian king. Georgi the Brilliant makes his country to be free from Mongol Empire. His father is Demetre Tavdadebuli, who is killed by Mongols after some period. So his mother is Natela Jakeli, princess of Georgia, daughter of Beka Atabeg of Georgia, and Georgi Brilliant, Georgi the Brilliant, the king of Georgia, he gave to Jakeli very respectful title Atabeg, and he said that you rose me and you must be Atabegs. Atabeg in Asian countries means the family who is rising the king. So we know that in Atabeg's dome, in Atabeg's family, the princes were brought up by Atabegs themselves. Atabegs, they are also military general, first military person of the country who fights against all enemies, who is bringing up the new king, and who is also very loyal to the king. So, and Bagrationis, especially George the Brilliant or Georgi the Brilliant, how Georgians say, he gave to Jakeli family the title of Atabegs, very respectful title. We know that Atabegs, they are like kings. They are like independent rulers of the countries. So there are some Atabegs around the world. There are some dynasties of Atabegs. There are 7 dynasties of Atabegs around the world, known by history, and one of these dynasties, this is Atabegs of Samtshe, who are Jakelis, who are Jakeli family. So after some period, we know that the offsprings of Jakeli family, they were very, very powerful generals. They were Amirs, Pasalars, and Atabegs of this country. So, but in 15th century, Georgia was invaded many times by enemies, especially who destroyed Georgia was Tamerlan. So the Temur invaded Georgia 7 times. 7 times, and after this great disastrous actions, Georgia as a feudal country was divided into principalities, and once again Jaqelis received independence from central government, from Bagrationis, and they established their independent principality Akhaltsikisa Atabegs. So they established this independent principality in 15th century, and even one of the rulers, very famous general and Atabeg of Akhaltsikhe, whose name is Kakhaber second Jakeli, Kakhaber second Jakeli. He established his monads. He issued his money. Money is entitled as a so coins of Kakhaber. So they ruled here very powerfully. They were very big rulers here, and in this building, disastrously happened something tragic. Yeah. So Kakhaber, ruler of the country, ruler of the Akhaltsikisa Atabegs, he made king of Georgia Georgi VIII from Bagrationi dynasty to be imprisoned here. He captured Georgi Bagrationi, king of Georgia, when he was trying to capture the city of Akhaltsikhe, and they made Georgi the VIII to be here in this place, what is entitled as a Rabati, right now Rabati Akhaltsikhe, south part of the Georgia. They made king of Georgia Georgi the VIII from Bagrationi dynasty to be here in jail 8 years. 8 years king was here in jail, and finally king married daughter of Kakhaber Jakeli, whose name was Tamar. Princess Tamar Jakeli was married to king of Georgia Georgi the VIII. So, and this was disastrous time already, and many other things they happened, and I will continue my lecturing about history of Akhaltsikisa Atabegs in next meeting. I will record also this meeting for you, and I want to say that Meskhetians, they are very powerful, very cultural people. You know that they even they are so mother tribe of Shota Rustaveli, one of the greatest poets of the world civilization. So who wrote the hero in panther skin or hero in tiger skin? So Vepkhvistqavsani. So Meskhetians, they are powerful because all great philosophies and all great writers, they come from this place in the history of Georgia, from Meskhetian place. So Georgi Khansteli was also Meskhetian. So others, many other great persons, Tornik Eristavi was also Meskhetian. The Saint Andrea came to Meskhetian place Atskuri and settled his first monastery in Atskuri. So that's why we say that in Georgia, two great apostles of Jesus Christ, they themselves so explain the meaning of this great belief, this great faith, Christianity, and so in Atskuri, in 25 miles from here, you can see this Atskuri Cathedral, what is the place where Saint Andrew, apostle of Jesus Christ, himself promoted Christianity to the Georgian people, and the Georgian culture is also promoted and so strengthened by Meskhetian people. So once again, great thanks to your attention, and I want to bless you from this holy land. Thank you very much. Your Kakhaber, Jakeli.